Hello, Ghana. My name is Adelaide. I'm in my mid 20s and I'm currently visually impaired.
Adelaide is blind, but she was not born this way. Her childhood, she tells me, was a memorable one growing up at Nungwa, a suburb of Accra. Her passion to become a news anchor, musician and a storyteller propelled her to study hard to gain admission to Ghana Senior High School. But in final year, her life changed forever when she suddenly took ill.
It started one Sunday. I woke up with body pains and then I went to church. I was supposed to go to school that day actually. So when I was in church, I felt this pain in my tummy. It was quite funny. So I decided to come back home and rest for a while before leaving for school. But it wasn't getting any better, so I decided to go the next day. And then the next day, I started feeling some headaches. I thought it was just tiredness, so I wanted to rest. My temperature was still rising, and then the next day, I started throwing up. It became serious. I had to go to the hospital.
She was eventually admitted to the Hollywood Teaching Hospital, where she was diagnosed of cerebrospinal meningitis. Doctors told her the condition affected the part of her brain responsible for her sight.
I was hallucinating too when I came out of coma, so I didn't even know I had lost my sight. But I just knew I couldn't move any of my limbs. I was seeing faces and hearing voices. So I was there. I would cry almost all the time because I just didn't understand what was going on. When I came out of coma, I couldn't even remember my name. It actually felt like breaking my eyes because it was feeling very uncomfortable. Initially, I was seeing very black. It was as black as a polythene bag, and I would close my eyes for a while and open and hope that I would see again.
We have some few.
Oh yeah, I'm just pulling your legs. So, is that how you talk? The way you sing and the way is that how you talk?
Yes, please.
Wow. So you come with this smooth voice. Your voice is very romantic, but not every romantic voice can sing. How did you discover yourself that you can sing?
Okay, when I was growing up, I used to sing sometimes in school. So after BEC, then I realized that I could sing because when I go to church, everybody wanted me to sing. And that's when I started realizing that I could sing.
Okay, BEC or school then?
At your Precious Savior Academy.
Where you from?
Nungwa.
Nungwa. So you live in Nungwa?
That's where I grew up.
You grew up from
yeah.
Nungwa. Oh, that's why you are Botier Bo. Yeah, because Bole, Nungwa people are Bole, Botier. Yeah. Okay, good. Right. Now, we know that, we understand that you are visually impaired. Were you born with it or you got it whilst, growing up?
I wasn't born with this. I had a condition called cerebrospinal meningitis about 8 years and 3 months now. And that's how come I lost my sight.
Oh, that is not too long ago. Not far.
Yes.
8 years, 3 months ago.
Yes.
Oh, so sorry. So how did it happen? It happened suddenly when you got the CSM or?
I was in high school and I came home for something. Then school resumed actually, and I went to school and I came back home for something. So I was supposed to go to school on Sunday and I realized I wasn't feeling well. So I had to postpone my going back to school. And I was still not feeling any better. So I had to go to the hospital, and that's where everything started. It started with normal body pains and rise in temperature. And now my neck, I started having headaches, my neck became stiff. I went on about 3 different admissions. And I think the second admission, that's when I lost my sight, but I had also lost my memory, so I didn't know what was going on. I was there for 2 good weeks and I didn't even know exactly where I was or what was going on until I was transferred to Kolebu. and I went on a coma state for 3 days. I came back and I realized I couldn't move any of my limbs. And I didn't even know I couldn't see. Everywhere was dark, but I was hallucinating, so it didn't really make sense to me. I was seeing faces and hearing voices. So it took a while for me to admit that I couldn't see. And I had to go through physiotherapy bits by bits to be able to walk again because I'd lost everything. I couldn't move any of my limbs. I didn't remember even my name. They had to talk me through everything that happened in my life for the past years for me to get used to the fact or for me to realize what was going on at that particular moment. So I had to go through that for some time. I was on admission at Kolibu for about a month and I was discharged. I had to go for physiotherapy every day so I would be able to walk. And I was still not too fine, so I did that for a while. And I registered for a gym close to the house, so I would be able to be exercising more frequently. And that's how come I started working again.